What's the next step, and how do you view a possible long-term extension or signing a supermax and staying in Milwaukee?
Obviously, right now, I'm just trying to focus on my family. I was in the bubble for 2 months, almost. Try to spend as much time as I can with them. I'm back in Greece now. I'm able to see my mom and my older brother. I'm not trying to think about it as much in what I'm going to do next. But one thing that I know that I'm going to do next, that I'm going to get better. And when the time comes that we're going to talk about contract and we're going to talk about long-term future with Milwaukee, that's going to be that time. I'm going to be at that moment. But right now, I want to keep getting better. I want to focus on my family. Obviously, I had a great meeting with the owners, talked about the team, talked about what went wrong, what can we improve, and as long as everybody's on the same page and as long as everybody's fighting for the same thing, not fighting every single day, which is to be a champion, I don't see why not be in Milwaukee for the next 15 years.
I thought I was done for today. I made my James Harden video and, well, I thought I was done. I thought that there was nothing else to make. But today, for some reason, has been absolutely filled with the wildest rumors and takes. And the rumor I saw as I was uploading my James Harden video, if you went onto my Twitter, you'd see that I couldn't believe what I read. And we're going to dissect this and try to determine whether it's true or not, because it's a very intriguing bit of information about one of the most sought out after players on the trade market. Now, before we get to the content, guys, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It does wonders in growing my channel. I do this for a full-time job. This is our second upload of the day. And on top of that, make sure to check me out on twitch.tv/FlightMike. It's where I usually game with you guys and, just link up with my most diehard members of Mike Mafia. We also started a gaming channel called TheFlightMike TV. A link to that's in the description down below, or you should see one of our videos pop up at the end screen. Maybe my game with De'Aaron Fox on NBA 2K. Now that we got all of that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Guys, the Giannis and Antetokounmpo trade rumors took a very interesting turn today. You see, originally, my personal prediction was that Giannis was going to play out the remainder of his contract, or at least until the trade deadline, with the Milwaukee Bucks. And based off of how his performance went with the Milwaukee Bucks, he would either sign a contract extension at the end of next season, or he would demand a trade right before the trade deadline. And if the Bucks felt like there's no way that they could retain Giannis, then they would trade him. The number one determining factor about whether the Milwaukee Bucks could retain Giannis and Antetokounmpo or not is 100% based off of their ability to put around a contending roster and surround him with the right pieces to potentially win him a NBA championship. So with that in mind, automatically, I said that the number one team that I would stamp my feet for and beg the Milwaukee Bucks to trade me to would be the Golden State Warriors. At the same time, I felt like the team that could possibly provide me with the greatest value in return would also be the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors, again, have the number 2 pick in this year's NBA draft, and I know it's a weak NBA draft, but it's still a number 2 overall pick. They have Andrew Wiggins, who is a young, above-average player that apparently just needed a change of scenery, but has a horrible contract that they could dangle in front of the Milwaukee Bucks in order to make the cap space work. And the Golden State Warriors could also give up the Minnesota Timberwolves' top 3 protected draft pick next year as well, which is projected to be fairly valuable. Considering the fact that the Minnesota Timberwolves are in a very competitive Western Conference and the Golden State Warriors are going to be returning next year, the West is only going to get stronger. So with that being said, I don't really see the Timberwolves making it to the NBA playoffs. And as a result, I think that there's a pretty good chance that the Minnesota Timberwolves draft pick next year will end up in the lottery as well. So pretty much you get a number 2 overall pick, a player that is pretty much a draft bust, and a lottery pick next year for your superstar that is probably likely to leave you in free agency. Now, I stayed quiet about these rumors up until today. Bear in mind, I make these videos as I see the rumors and bring it to you guys so we can dissect whether it's cap or not. So the source of this rumor is an individual on Twitter by the name of Ashley Nicole, or at Ash Nicole Moss. And I'm going to take you through her tweets and we're going to decide this for ourselves, guys. The first tweet was some basketball news. I've been told by sources within the Miami Heat organization that despite previous reports, Tyler Hero is not an untouchable in the team's pursuit of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Ashley continued to say that, adding to this, I've also been told in the team's pursuit of Giannis, the untouchable player is Bam Adebayo. Pat Riley wants to hold on to him as long as possible. Hashtag Heat Twitter. Now, someone tweeted at Ashley, well, everyone knows the Bucks aren't trading Giannis, so maybe Tyler just isn't untouchable in general regarding some of the other known trade targets. Well, Ashley responded to that saying that it's not true, sir. But here's the interesting part, and this is where I'm a little skeptical. The next tweet says, per sources, the Warriors have prepared a very intriguing package for the Bucks in their own pursuit of Giannis. The package includes small forward Andrew Wiggins. However, Giannis is not prepared to sign a long-term deal with the team. Now, here's the thing, because this is the first bombshell in this video. The fact that Giannis is not prepared to sign with the Golden State Warriors, which, by the way, I smell a nice stinking heap of cap with this tweet. And here is why. Because one, even if the Golden State Warriors have prepared a very intriguing package for the Bucks in their own pursuit of Giannis, which, by the way, I think this package is going to be something like, I don't know, Andrew Wiggins, two draft picks, maybe throw in Draymond Green. I'm not really sure. Maybe throw in Eric Pascal. I'm not really putting out the ESPN trade machine because there's so many different ways the Warriors could pursue Giannis, and I'm sure they're willing to part with some significant assets other than Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in order to acquire him. But the issue I have here is if you're the Golden State Warriors, you're probably so overly confident in your ability to convince Giannis Antetokounmpo to stay with your franchise past this season that you are willing to give up on potentially drafting James Wiseman or whoever you want to draft at the number 2 overall spot, next year's unprotected pick, and Andrew Wiggins in order to even get Giannis for one season. That's how confident the Warriors would be. That's why I think this could be cap. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this, because there's another bombshell that Ashley's about to drop onto us. Adding to this, Giannis splits his offseason between Greece and Miami, per sources. He's prepared to sign a long-term deal in Miami. The Bucks are not willing to end up with nothing by letting him hit free agency in 2021. A deal is expected before then. Now, this was met with a lot of hate tweets on Ashley's end, which my heart goes out to the girl because I get a lot of hate comments because of my titles to these rumors. People don't tend to watch the full video, except for you, the viewer that's at the 7-minute point of this video. Shout out to you. A lot of people are roasting Ashley because there wasn't a lot of details about the Golden State Warriors' intriguing package. And she tweeted out saying, since the word intriguing is giving some of y'all a meltdown, there are obviously other things included in the package, including draft picks and other players. However, Andrew Wiggins was the only concrete name I was given at the time. That kind of makes sense to me. That part makes sense to me. I think this rumor is a bunch of BS. I think that there is no way that the Milwaukee Bucks would say, well, we can't trade Giannis to the Warriors. He would not sign a long-term deal with the Warriors because the Bucks don't care whether Giannis signs a long-term deal or not. At the same time, the Warriors would happily take a risk on a player like Giannis, just as the Lakers were happy to take a risk on a player like Dwight Howard in 2012. Even though he left after a year to go to the Houston Rockets, it was still a worth it risk. Then also, more recently, we saw the OKC Thunder take a risk on Paul George in 2017, trading Victor Oladipo and other assets in return for Paul George to get Russell Westbrook another running mate. And In turn, Paul George decided to extend his contract with the OKC Thunder. But what could be making the Golden State Warriors feel uncomfortable is about 2 years ago, when the Warriors made it to the NBA Finals, they were able to meet Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors acquired Kawhi Leonard by trading DeMar DeRozan over to the San Antonio Spurs. In return, they got Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. And after winning an NBA championship, Kawhi Leonard left. So I could understand why the Golden State Warriors would feel a little uncomfortable, but I feel like if you're the Warriors, there's such a good chance you make it to the NBA Finals that you don't care if Giannis wants to commit to your roster and commit to your team past this season. Giannis is so starving for a championship that I'm sure if you're able to bring him in and you're able to sell him on the Golden State Warriors culture for a year, then you'll have no problem re-signing him. So that's why I think this could be a big steaming pile of cap, because at the same time, the Milwaukee Bucks said that even if Giannis is not to sign a contract extension, they're going to hold on to him this year. So there's a lot of plot holes to this story. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think is going to happen. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.